Good morning, Year 1. I hope you all had a lovely week and a fantastic weekend. I hear that Mrs. Whitehead has chosen the theme of the seaside for your learning this week, and Miss Dawes has had a fabulous idea, was to make pufferfish using fork and paint. So with my little assistant here, James, we've had a go. James, you want to show yours? We've absolutely loved it, didn't we? Was it really good fun?
Yeah, I guess from a funny.
Yeah, yours are funny, aren't they? Now, James has chosen today's story. When I told him that my class was going to learn all about the sea, you had two ideas. You said first, The Singing Mermaid as your favourite book. But we thought that maybe some of the boys wouldn't like The Singing Mermaid. So then we said The Snail and the Whale. So we're going to read and listen to
Snail and the Whale.
The Snail and the Whale. So let's go. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a big, grey-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea's deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. The rock. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth back rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." And this is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." What a clever little snail. And this is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale immensely long who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves.
It's normally blue.
And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." Yeah, you're right. Whales are normally blue, but it's dark, isn't it? So you can't really see. They can be a bit grey as well. And this is the sea.
But look, it's black.
Well, it kind of is blue, grey, black, isn't it? A bit of a mixture. Should we carry on?
Yeah.
And this is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Big icebergs with penguins.
Okay.
With fiery mountains and golden sands. And somewhere really hot now. Dolphins and macaws and monkeys. And these are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And these are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam around the whale and the snail on his tail. These big waves.
Everybody might be scared because they would think the sharks would eat.
We might get a little bit scared, but the snail is okay, isn't he? He's protected by the whale. And this is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with thunderstorms, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Look at this poor tiny snail. Big thunderstorms.
Yeah, that's from whale.
And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small."
Why did she say that?
Why do you think she said that she feels really small?
I don't know.
Oh, look. She's really tiny, isn't she?
I didn't know this.
Don't come and sit back down. But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place. Oops. I'm losing the book. Upsetting the whale with her ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. And this is the tide slipping away.
Why?
All the noise disorientated the whale. That meant that he lost his way. He couldn't find where he was in the sea, and then he ended up stuck on the sand. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand, back to sea, cried the snail. Can't move on land, I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she cried and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. James, can you sit up a little bit more? This is the little snail and the big one.
I've always got. Ow!
Oh, sorry, did I pinch your finger?
Yeah, because I was doing like this.
Come on, sit back down.
Wait,
We're recording. And this is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. And this is the teacher, holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, a snail! The teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. And this is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying,
Ding, ding, ding.
save the whale. Careful, I don't want to drop your fingers again.
I didn't.
And these are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. Now all the villagers are helping to keep the whale cool. Until finally this is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray as the whale and the snail travel safely away. And back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their
What?
wonderful tales
Why?
of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with a looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. And the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. All the snails now.
They must have sinking the end, but it isn't more page.
There's one more page. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. What a fantastic story. I love this story because I love to travel. And this story is about travel. And I love this story because it's
we finished them all.
it's also about how somebody really tiny and small can actually help somebody really big. So sometimes the best of your friends come from people who are quite unexpected. Hope you have a lovely week, year one, and I'll see you next week for another story. Bye bye. Say bye bye, James.
Bye-bye. Bye.